Hola amigos, hola amigas, Dorian here from Hoover. Welcome, bienvenido, croeso salam. Welcome to the channel, y'all. Chasniak. So we are back for part 3. It's been about a week since we did part 2, so had a bit of a bad chest, but I'm okay now. So we're back in the workshop, and we are here to start putting this Turbopower Freedom back together again. It's all nice and clean. The motor sounds so much better than what it did before, and yeah, I think it's time to start putting this beast back together. So let's get you closer. Now you're above, now you can see a lot clearly. First thing I have to do, because it was the last thing I did, was to put this hose housing back on. And if you remember, the screws were knackered on it. I have those 2 screws here. So I'm going to go and get 2 replacement screws, so bear with me. Okay, so I got 2 screws. There we go. Fitted in perfect. Now I have got the spinal cord, so the first thing I need to do is to put this on first.
That was easy.
Okay, so now the electrical connector for the handle is in. That's in its position, that's in its position. That's down. Pipe is on. That is there. Okay, next thing I have to do now is to put the light back on. So as you remember, I put a marker there so I know which way it goes in. Connect up the 2 wires. Okay, so the bag fill indicator light is all back on. That's in its place. The wiring loom's in its place. Now I'm just going to get some of the bits out that I'm going to need. So I got the back of the cord hook here. Next thing I need to clean up is the cable. Manky. Okay, so that's the cable clean. I'm now going to feed it through and wire it up. wires are nice and tight. I'm going to feed it back through and put the wire grip back in. I'm not going to bother with the handle, I'll put that on at the end. And now I've got the cover for all of this to put on. Make sure that this is not pinched. There's a gap in there, so make sure it's not pinched.
I'm not going to tighten them all the way yet.
I'm going to remove the rubber seal around there for reasons I will explain later. Now the next thing I need is this base. There's a circlip which I'm going to remove. Do not lose it. Okay. And what I need to do to make these just a little bit tighter is to put some extra washers on. So let me go get my washers. Typical, the only washers I have are these big ones.
Yep.
That was fiddly, but worth it. So I can put this on. So that's the height adjuster on. The cap. But before I do that, I'm going to do my little trick because it's worn down. A little bit of grease on them on either side. Does help reduce friction. Sponge for the motor sits in there. Here we have the freshly cleaned motor. There's two marks along there for where to line up the two grooves. These differ, I mean. There's a little notch on that side, so you know where that one fits in. If you put a teeny weeny bit of grease on this side, it will help you slide in the motor better, like so. There we go. So that is the motor on, in I should say. Wires back onto the motor. Motor bracket. Tell you what I should have done, which I will do now, is the bellows. So to get the bellows on the motor part here very easily, again, grease on the inside. Will help you get them on. Like so, nice. And easy. Nice new cable tie. Right, now I can put the motor bracket on. Foot pedal and the spring. Gonna put a little bit of grease on the spring. Okay, so that's the spring and the pedal in place. Make sure the power cord is tucked in there. Now I have this little beast to put on. Now I can put that on the bellows. Again, I'm going to put a little bit of grease over it, just to stop friction. Now to fit in the bellows, which slides in. There we go. And that should help with the lean a little bit better. Ah, bloomin' heck. Right, okay, motor's in. Let's put the handle on, and then we can plug it in and try it. Hang on, there's a bit of muck in there. Look at the muck in here. Everard, shut that door. Handle on. Let's plug it in. Here goes the big nothing. Make sure I got it switched off. There we go. Okay, guys. Now, I know it doesn't sound 100%, but we must give it time for it to wear in. Yeah, it does sound a bit better. Right, so we know that it works. And we know that it's nice and clean. As best as I could get it, because this was the most filthiest bloody thing I've ever cleaned. Well, that's not entirely true, but near on. Right, the new light on it is definitely a lot better. Right, I think we need to concentrate now on the underneath here. Let me get this wiped over again. I just want to give this another wipe over. And the bumper, and I'll put the bumper on it, and then we can fit the hood, and then it starts to look a bit like a vacuum cleaner again. So just give me a minute. Okay, time to put the bumper back on. Now it's time to put the hood back on. And fingers crossed. It is on. Yep. Don't worry, it's me. It's fine. It does fit on fine. Let's turn it over. Two hood screws. Belt guard. In place. Almost. Dodgy wheel. Spring. No, I thought by putting it in the wrong way around, it would give it more, but it doesn't. So I'm going to put it back the way it was. There we go. So even though that's broken, it's not a major issue. I'm going to put the height adjustment knob back on. And then for the tools, slides right across. That blocks off airflow to here, so you only get airflow out the side. I can put that down on the floor. Excuse me. Next thing is this brush room. Right, let me give this a clean out. Let me give these a clean up. Clean up that bearing and oil it. Clean out this. Take this end off. It's just full of hair and gunk. Right. I'm going to do this in fast forward. Don't want to lose that washer. Right, let's crack on.
Clip it back in.
Next is this horrible permabag system. Well, I don't even know if they called it yeah, it is a permabag, which is just basically a plastic container for the dirt to go into. Horrendous, absolutely horrendous. So here is the cage at the back that I'm not going to be using. Here's the filter that I have cleaned, but it is knackered. Someone suggested to me that I could use a car filter. That's not a bad idea, actually. There's bound to be car filters available that would fit that, possibly. But what I'm going to do is bag it. So this is what I'm going to do. So I have a bag here which is suitable for Turbopowers. This is for your home spares and accessories. What I'm going to do is tuck the bottom of the bag inside the perma bag. Okay, actually I'm not. I'm going to do it the other way around. I'm going to pull the bag through the back of the hole So that is there, if you can see what I'm doing. Be very careful. Take your time. Okay, so you just need to make sure that this bag is through. There we go. Tuck the bottom of the bag into the perma bag, like so. Just make sure there's plenty of room for it to fit in. That sticks through the back, but that is the reason why I wanted to remove the rubber off there. Put the perma bag on the front door of the perma bag, and that clips in almost. There we go. Clunk, click, first trip. That should now go through there. Now we switch it on. Dirt is now going in through here around the seal and into the bag, and not into the vacuum, because that seal fits around there. And if you look down, I can see it going over it and holding on. Right, let's try it on the floor. And if I pull it straight across to use the tools and switch it on. Not the most amazing suction. Let's put some neon sand down on the floor, on the workbench. Okay, now let's vacuum it up on full power. Let's open the perma bag, and as you can see, there is no, it's a little couple of specks of dust there of bright pink sand, 1, 2, and nothing else on the inside. Everything has gone inside the bag. And I can hear it. So that works. I wasn't going to take a knife to it, or a clippers, or a scissors, or anything at all. Just that. And now we have almost saved this from sheer destruction, because it would not have lasted if it had been reused as a bagless system. It just wouldn't have survived. I've got an air freshener that I'm going to put in, and we're going to give it a polish, because it desperately needs a polish, so that you guys can see the beautiful finish on it with the glitter. So if I put it on the low, let's put a little bit more down on here, and let's vacuum it up. And there we go. Another one rescued. So this Turbopower Freedom brushed edge cleaning is now finished. What I'm going to do in the next episode, at the very beginning, you're going to see me polish it in time lapse, and then we're going to give it a house demo. So let me get the camera back. So there we go, my little whippersnappers. We have put this beast back together, and boy oh boy, there were moments when I didn't think we could when I first saw the state of it on the inside, but it just sounds so much better. It just sounds like a Turbopower should now. So fantastic. I'm using that bag. Has definitely saved it for the future. I'm not going to throw these away, obviously, because it's part of it, and if I sell them in the future, somebody may possibly want to use it as a bagless system. That's entirely up to them. But there we go. I'll keep that to one side safe up in the Hoover room. And yeah, but I'm really pleased with this. So thank you very much for watching. Join me in the next episode, the last episode, and I will see you then. Bye, y'all.